I'd like to welcome you all out tonight to our 2021 Initiation Temple's 12 weeks of follow-up. We've had so many people asking questions and we need to have some follow-up. You know, during these difficult times, it's good to have some inspiration. And let me tell you, I've been so lucky. The Ascended Masters, they just keep coming, and I keep being able to experience a lot of good things. And so just know that we are in good shape as far as everything is going. The planet is scheduled to go through the Ascension process, and the people on it are going to go through it. There's been many things that we've had come in, and there's people out there receiving messages every day from the Ascended Beings. They are working very hard with us to get us ready for the Ascension. So we've got 12 weeks of follow-up tonight through February 17th. Now I'm going to be doing this, and I'm not going to take a break. I was going to take a big break and not do anything for a while because I've been so busy at the office. But with your questions and everything, I want to be able to teach you even more. Vicki did take me back again to the Ascension Temple, and it was fabulous what we went through. And so I'm going to give you that information tonight. Without further ado, I'm going to lecture for a little bit, and then we'll answer your questions. There's a chat. Just click on the chat and ask your questions that you have. Now, the Initiation Temples are 12 temples, starting at the Sun Temple and going through the moon, the underground, the air, the water, the earth, the fire, the love, the will, the wisdom, the now and the here temples. Now, these temples actually existed, and I went through them 4,500 years ago as a priest named Amnon. And Set was my teacher, and Set today is known as Serapis Bey. And the now Temple of Regeneration was absolutely my favorite one that I went through, but I didn't go through it until week 11, which is about 4 weeks ago. Actually, it hasn't even been that long, about 3 weeks ago. And the now Temple of Regeneration is important, for it is in the now, or the present moment, that we should keep our energy to create in the now and not extend our energy out into the past and not worry about the future. Because when we do those things, we're actually sending energy out into the past or into the future, not using it to help us in the now. So we should not worry about the future, and we should let go of the past, live in the present moment, sending our energy in this present moment and not sending it out into the past or the future. Now, we're going to go back again to the temple in Giza, which is right here. And Giza is the plateau where the Great Pyramid is and the other pyramids next to it. And this is a picture depicting this. This is the Great Pyramid, and the other two large temples. There's also 3 others. And they're all in the formation of Orion's Belt. Why did they make it Orion's Belt? Because many of the Earth people came from the Orion constellation. And, the Pleiades, Sirius, all these planets there. And it's one of the oldest creations in the universe. Now, when Vicki took me into the regression and I stepped on the platform and it carried me across the earth and dropped me down in the past again, Set knew I was coming, and he greeted me from coming down from the platform to the Now Temple. He knew I would be coming. And, he's an Ascended Master, so he sees the past, present, and future at all times, because there is no time It's all there at once. And he knew I was going to come, even though I was coming from the future, which is our now, but it's interesting as you talk to the now in each aspect of time. And he knows my soul is the same. He knows that I'm needing healing in my future body so I can be healthy and strong and help teach people and be alive and not have the problems that I've been having for the last 4.5 years since I had that near-death experience. That just, well, it did kill me, and it's been tough healing my body, but I'm working on healing my entire body. And Set spoke to me telepathically saying, I'm proud of you coming back to the Great Pyramid to undergo more healing. And he started singing a song that connects the future to the past and helps me down into the now temple, the Great Pyramid. And we went down into the chamber, and he helped me down to regenerate in the future. So I'm doing this in the now, but I'm actually going back into the past to do it, and he's regenerating me in the future. Set says, anytime we ask God for assistance in healing, we can access the energy of regeneration. Now, Set said the fire, water, earth, love, air energy, will of God, the wisdom of God, were all created with God's love, which creates the etheric energy from the void to create all things. When we use God's will, love, and wisdom, being present in the now, we create perfection. Set continued, we create with our intent. God's love, will, wisdom will be present in the here and now, creating in the here and now. We advance all of humanity when we are here and now. And we are not only healing ourselves, but because we are one, we heal each other. So this is an important concept. If you're not doing your healing work and your shadow work, you're not helping yourself and you're not helping the one. And so we all need to be doing this work to help the one. So Set gives me a blessing to align myself to the love, will, wisdom of God, aligning myself in the here and now, giving my will or sovereignty back to God. Now, why do we need to do that? Because our will doesn't need to be what we do, because we can make mistakes. But when we do it in thy will be done, or God's will be done, we are doing the most perfect thing for all of humanity, which is very, very important. Okay, so when he gives me this blessing, and he said, I feel the energy of God within me and all around me. I see, I feel, the pyramidal structures start appearing green, yellow, blue, and orange as I'm in the sarcophagus, and he gets the two guards to put the lid on top. And I'm seeing red, indigo, pink, violet, green, yellow, blue, and orange spinning all around my body, but they become these little pyramids, and then they join together to make Merkabahs. And I then feel the DNA in my body responding to these spinning Merkabahs, forming colorful spinning pyramids from my own DNA, which then connects into the Merkabahs with the two pyramids connected at the base, spinning all around me. Now this is a picture of the Merkabahs. The Merkabahs are four-sided pyramids that connect together, and they're spinning away, and they create these little points of light. And there are seven of these main points, and the middle one is the heart. And the heart creates the electromagnetic energy that is 1,000,000 times more powerful than our minds. Our minds produce millivolts, our hearts produce kilovolts, or 1,000 volts or more. And approximately 6,000 to 8,000 volts believe it or not, our hearts are capable of. Our brains are millivolts, you know. Believe it or not, just in hertz, and it's interesting, the voltage differences. So it's important that we create this energy and get our Merkabahs spinning and make more DNA. You know, a lot of people have been asking, well, what do we do about the alteration in people's DNA? We create perfected DNA in all of us. Last night I got a call from a young man. I've known him for 15 years. I've been helping his parents for years and him. And he had got, you know, the things that are altering our DNA. And he asked me, what do I do? And I said, well, you start doing the 24-strand DNA. And he says, oh, you know, I started that and I quit. And I'm saying, well, don't quit. Do it until you're done, and it will perfect your DNA. So in answer to your question about that, yes, we can re-perfect the DNA even in those who have chosen to alter it doing the things that are going on right now. Now, the Merkabahs are spinning and developing points of light within all my organs, glands, bones, ligaments, tendons, joints, lymph, blood, immune system, brain, nerves, fascia, and all the other parts of my body, perfecting the 24-strand DNA in this physical body, the perfected double helix 48-stranded DNA in my fourth dimensional body, and the perfected double helix 96-stranded DNA of my light, plasma, and love fifth dimensional body, the perfected double helix, and I have over 380 DNA, so my 192-stranded DNA creates the rainbow body in the sixth dimension. It is a kaleidoscope of color, sound, vibration, plasma, and love all around me, extending out to other humans, the earth, the solar system, and the universe. My energy affects all of you. And that's why we're one. All of us are connected through space, time, dimensions, and we are all one, and we came from that oneness energy. So, Set says, as you heal yourself in the now, you are generating higher frequencies, which affects your universe and all the humans around you. This is how we heal the earth and all the human beings on earth and out in space. Keep your energy in the here and now, healing yourself and others, which will heal the humans in the universe in the past, present, and future. Set reminds me, human beings following the love, will, wisdom, and laws of God will always create and prosper in the here and now. Says Set. Fear creates destruction and chaos, leading to death, illness, plagues, and epidemics. The happiness of the people is taken away, replaced with emotional and mental fear. Think about what you're living through right now. Creative energy stops except for the creation of more destructive things, devices, weapons of war, weapons of mass destruction, machines of war. Peace disappears, leading to suffering in the here and now. Set continues, the leaders who rule with fear always destroy hope and faith, which decreases the love and light. Our duty is to create hope, faith, and healing. Now, the initiations of the weeks show that our free agency and choices, every choice we make creates a new timeline. So we need to make sure we're in alignment with God, with our choices. The test of love and staying in the love vibration. The love temple is all about the decision to continue on with the initiations and completing with our own ascension with God. Our thoughts, emotions, actions create our reality and affects all of those around us. So the assignment for this follow-up is very similar to the last assignment of the initiations. Choose to align your life here and now with God's love, will, and wisdom in helping yourself and others to heal, following the laws of God by example, which will lead to a happy, abundant life, creating all that is needed for you and all those around you. So we create for everybody. Here and now is your time to create a difference in our earth and our universe. So we're going to do 12 more, and believe me, I'm going to go where the questions go. If I don't have the answers, we will find them for you. So we're going to go ahead and take your questions. You know, I keep the audio off so that there's not a lot of disturbing stuff going on, because it seems like there's always somebody's cat getting up or dog barking or something. So, okay, if people's immune system are not strong, how can the body protect itself from disease if filled with the viruses? Well, what I've found is that we, the people who are aligned with God, aligned with the goodness and the will, the love, the wisdom of God, we are the ones who are here holding the energies. And we are the ones who need to bless these people. And we bless them through our telepathic communication. And you know, I keep receiving, we need to tell them that we love them and send them love, and then ask them to wake up and get healthy. Recognize what they're doing is not in alignment with God. It's in alignment with what the evil humans are trying to do to us, but it's not in alignment with God. And so we need to telepathically communicate with them. Please come back into alignment with the God of the universe, the Almighty I Am that I Am, and receive help with your body. Do the 24-strand DNA manifestation, because that will correct the defects even in their DNA that is being created by these other things. Now, the other things we have to deal with is the graphene oxide, and that can be withdrawn from the body. Just as you can create something, we can uncreate something. And so you can uncreate it in other people by focusing your thoughts and your energy through God's love, will, and wisdom, and uncreate the graphene oxide, uncreate the messenger RNA, uncreate all the stuff the messenger RNA is creating, because it's going to be very helpful for these people. We are the ones who are awake. We are the ones with the power of God. And believe you me, you do have that power. So just know that we can help them. And aloha. Okay, so can everybody... Okay, we've got some people who are hearing us, but some are, it may be that their sound is turned down. So, okay, let's see. What does this Ascension event look like? Well, it looks beautiful. Everything that's created with God is always in its perfection and beautiful and vivid and colorful and filled with sounds, light, vibrations that are just ecstasy. When I went through the creation, the regeneration temple the first time 3 weeks ago, 2 days later, after I gave the lecture, I felt God touch my shoulder. Literally, this energy touched my shoulder, and this beautiful energy started entering into this side of my body, and it was spreading. And all of a sudden, I went into fear. But it was beautiful. It was ecstasy. There was no pain. In fact, I prayed to have my shoulder healed. And here I went into fear. And you know what happens when you go into fear? The Spirit of God departs, because it's the lack of love when you go into fear. So we've got to stay out of fear. And here I was. I'm teaching people, and I'm going into fear, and I all of a sudden felt this shame come over me, and the shame made me even worse. So we've got to understand we are the ones, and the Ascension event, what it will look like is we will be there, and we will be hitting a certain point where all the humans will come back into the knowledge, wisdom, and love of God. And we will all of a sudden create an earth that is absolutely beautiful and pristine and perfect. You know, the people doing the New Green Deal thing, they have no idea the powers of God to create perfection in the earth. The earth is perfect, and they're trying to tax us even further. You know what's going on with the energy crisis. They're removing it because they think carbon dioxide is what's caused the problem. Believe it or not, when God created the planet and everything was started, there was more carbon dioxide than ever. In fact, it shows it as they've drilled down deep into the ice. There was much higher levels of carbon dioxide. And the carbon dioxide thing is just a lie. Carbon dioxide is what comes out of the plants, the animals, the insects, bacteria, fungus, you name it. We produce carbon dioxide. But what happens with that carbon dioxide? It is taken by the plants and made into oxygen. When we had a higher level of carbon dioxide in the world actually had more plants, more moisture. Carbon dioxide actually creates more cloud, more cooling effects. We've been lied to about carbon dioxide, and the plants use it, and the plants used to be much bigger. The trees, there's these huge fossilized tree trunks of trees that used to be thousands of feet tall when we had higher levels of carbon dioxide. Why? They could grow that tall because the carbon dioxide helped them grow faster and bigger, and all the plant life was much more evolved and used that carbon dioxide. And so as we're cutting down carbon dioxide, we're actually making less carbon dioxide for the plants. And it's still in minuscule quantities in the atmosphere. Literally, we have between 16 to 18% oxygen, then nitrogen is about 54%, and then all the other, and carbon dioxide is less than 1%. In fact, it's about 3.3% maximum, even in the cities. And so, it's interesting. So what does the Ascension event look like? It looks like the planet just becomes even more pristine. When we're there, we will look more bright, more shining, more full of plasma, light, and love. The animals, the insects, everything will evolve and ascend.